All right, and we are live, February 18th, 2025. A little bit late, 2 minutes late, because I was messing around with some stuff here and just time got away from me. But anyway, we are here live, and I want to talk to you today. Um, no, I am on. Okay, just one time I was on here, like I'm having one of those off days, right? Where is my ADD like really kicking in? Can you tell? So, is the mic on? Is there anything else? I remember recording one. My VA, my assistant said, "You don't have any audio on this broadcast." So I was sitting there talking. So I want to make sure I'm looking down at all these controls and make sure that the right lights are on, not the red one that says, "Hey, you're not on." Welcome to Heart Centered Marketing. My name is Joey Ragona. Hey, there's the intro for you. Today, I want to talk to you about a big topic that comes up all the time in my coaching, in my masterminds, discussions all the time, which is about adding more stuff to your business, and how it could actually hurt your business, and why pursuing more is usually not the answer, depending on where you are. And I'm talking about if you're growing right now, if you're under that $100,000 milestone, even if you are maybe moving on to 250, maybe $500,000, still, I would caution you to what more actually means. And I have made some notes here. I'm going to look down at my iPad, by the way, so I can look at let's see here. There we go. Um, just want to make sure that I'm getting all the if I have any comments coming in here on the Facebooks, um, on the group. If you are here live, let me know. Hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. So here's a surprising truth about this when you talk about growth, because if you talk about just sales alone, this is something that I heard quite a few times, and I want to share it with you. Maybe you've heard it before, but actually, if you're looking at sales, that you're looking at the sales is means more. It doesn't really necessarily help the business, because even if you look at a sales process that's going in place and all kinds of sales are coming through, it could actually hurt the business. One of the things that I've shared for over a decade in my coaching is that the one of the biggest things that brings a business down, that could hurt a business, is actual growth, like fast growth, because the infrastructure is not there. The teams aren't in place. The processes aren't in place. Sales might be coming in, a lot of money might be coming in, but things break down. That's maybe we'll get into that part of the discussion. But the main point I want to make to you is that even if you have a business and you compare a business of maybe $250,000 to $2.5 million in revenue, then the $250,000 I've seen is more successful because it has higher profit margins and it has greater efficiency. Think about that. Because, like I just said, when you grow really, really quickly with multiple products, multiple things going on, divisions, opening up new stores, all of this stuff going on, there is a lot of complexity that can come into play, and you can get into trouble that can really hurt your business. But the two main points that I want to make here for you, because most of you watching, I would assume, are in the online business world. And I made some notes here that I wanted to make sure that I get to. Maybe I won't get to them all, but I want to share some of them with you, because they're the two main ones I want to talk about is called the what I call the blind growth trap, and that's a big one. And then there's also the more solution trap. These are two traps that I see happening all the time, because there are, in the blind growth trap, that basically means you don't have a direction for your business, no guidance for your business, and you're taking on all kinds of different things. So I'll break down a couple of categories here underneath it, whatever you want to call them, maybe category under the blind growth trap, and then explain a little bit more. I'd love to hear from you. By the way, if you're here watching me live, let me know with a hashtag live. Thanks for the thumbs up. I just saw that come through. Thank you very much. And a comment. If you got comments, let me just actually move my notes out of the way so I could see the comments on the other side. So this is a couple of different categories or buckets, if whatever you want to call them, under the blind growth category. One is overwhelmed with complexity and multiple tasks. I'll break that down into a second. The next one is time and resource constraints. You probably going to say, check off a couple of these boxes. And marketing and client acquisition struggles. This is a big one. Everybody always asks me, how do I get more clients? And then technical and implementation challenges. Now, under the overwhelming complexity, this is a huge one. There's managing tech platforms. There's creating constant content consistently. Try to say that one 3 times fast. There's building funnels and marketing, which is, as you know, I'm the unfunnel guy. I'm the simplifier. This is the reason I created the unfunnel method, because it's a simple alignment to sales and marketing without all that complexity, without all of that stuff. So that's a big one. Like, everybody that comes to me before they start working with me is usually inside building these funnels and these complex systems, for no fault of their own. They're just being taught that stuff, right? And even handling customer support. This is one of the reasons why I needed to build a team very quickly, because the customer support wasn't really growing. It was kind of losing it. I'm dropping the ball a lot on it, and and even all the smaller things. So you have to understand that when you're growing fast, if you don't have the systems in place, then it's going to hurt you. Time and constraint. So this is another one I hear a lot of. Let me know if this resonates with you. Not enough hours in the day. Um, Trying to do everything else, and that was me. Balancing existing work with business growth, and that's a big one, because when you're doing busy work, when you're not in your flow zone, if you're not in that zone where you should be doing only the things that you're great at, which for me is actually creating content. I love writing content. I love, absorbing and mixing ideas and things, so people don't have to read the thousands of books that I read or watch the thousands of videos and all that stuff, and making it simplified and putting that out. So that creating content for me is really great. And conversations, I love having conversations, and I love coaching. I love doing this. I love teaching. So those are the things that I should be doing, but I can't be growing the business. I can't be caught up in the day-to-day work in order to grow the business, in order to do this. So that's very important for you. Technical and implementation challenges. So this means managing websites, software, handling payment systems, dealing with legal compliance, all of these things, creating and delivering products. That is where you might not be the perfect person to do that, and so I don't suggest that you do that. Let me see the comment here. Hey, Colleen, good to see you. So many people have the more button, and it is not only in this area. Yes, it is, right? It's in so many areas of life that more, and it's blind growth. And I'm not pointing any fingers here, because I operated most of my life, most of my businesses. I've been in business since, officially, I would say, 1986, and had a few businesses. And it's only been in the last 5 years that I have had a guide and a plan and a blueprint, or whatever you want to call it, building processes, building systems, and not blindly building the business. And that's almost embarrassing to say, but it's also freeing, because I know I've been through it for so long that I can see when someone else is going through it and they're just adding stuff in to try to grow quickly. And it's kind of like making a meal without a recipe. It's just like throwing in all the stuff. Maybe sometimes it turns out okay, but most of the times it's not going to be great. So I really caution you when it comes to blind growth. And if you're not working with somebody that can see your blind spots, please go and work with somebody who can see that. That is key. I had to go work with somebody. I'm still doing that. And I'm grateful for the clients that work with me. But if you haven't got anybody, go get somebody to see your business from the outside, because you're inside the picture. You can't see the picture frame. Now, I want to talk about the more solution trap, because that's another one. Now, I want to break this down, because more means increased complexity, usually, right? This is what I mean by this. Let's say you're adding more digital products. This is the biggest thing that I see. You want to grow your audience. You want to grow the courses. This means that you're managing more content. Let's say you just add one more product, right? And it's because you're in the customer journey. You want to add to the customer journey. And the more you add, you're managing more content. Even I had a call yesterday, and they had three products, which to me is a lot still. And then the first question I asked them was, okay, um, how do you market that? Like, what's the message you put out? And the answer was, well, we don't know because it's consistent. It's different all the way through. And I said, that's the point, right? Because either you have huge teams doing all this, which we don't. When we get to maybe $1 million and we have processes in place and we can hire teams and maybe divisions, that's a completely different story. But we're not, at least I'm not there yet. And most of the people that I work with and my clients, we're not there yet. We're at the $100,000 or getting to the 100,000 or moving to 250, 500,000, like that per year, that kind of thing. So adding more at this point just adds more complexity. And so you're handling more customer support. You're handling uh, things across different platforms or different products. Even if you think it's set it and forget it, it's still not set it and forget it. You're maintaining, please, well, hopefully if you're in my world, you're not doing this. But if you are, you're maintaining multiple funnels, right? Marketing campaigns. Before I did the unfunnel 5 years ago and I fully, just jumped right in, I tore down, there was 100 lead magnets. Literally, I'm not, making this number up. There was 100 lead magnets, campaigns built into Keep, and each one of those campaigns, well, I shouldn't say each one of them, but many of them had 4 or 5 different opt-in points, just even for the social platforms, right? One coming from LinkedIn, one maybe from YouTube, one maybe from Facebook, one maybe from a Facebook ad. Like, it's just different things. And so every single one of those points, I was monitoring. It's just a lot of complexity to it. And so once I tore them all down, I'm still actually tearing them down. So if you're watching this and you find one of those little things and maybe it's broken or maybe, I don't know, it's still out there. I'm still trying to break it down. That's the kind of stress that I have now today. Not the stress of growing the business, not worrying about where's the money going to come from or the clients or anything else. It's more about how do I fix all that complexity and stuff that I built back then with all these funnels and everything else. Okay. So that's the main thing. Dealing with various payment systems, delivery platforms, all of these things come into play when you're looking at the more solution trap. Um, Give me a second here while I swig. So one of my clients actually asked me um, about adding more, and I want to share this with you because the first thing I said was, "Why? Why do you want to add more?" And she told me it was because that she knows that her clients have a bigger journey or have more to experience. And I want to share this with you because you will more than likely you resonate with this, and you're thinking the same thing about your clients. And I'm not saying you're wrong. All of my clients have a big journey, right? It's not just me. And could I talk to each one of those points? Yes, I could. Is it the most efficient way to grow? I don't believe it is. I believe that when you are specific on what you do, you have a share of the client, which means that they come into the journey, wherever your part of that journey is, that little chunk that you're absolutely brilliant at helping them move, and then you can let them go. You can pass them off. It's kind of like the baton, right? You're part of the race. You're not all of the runners. You're just one runner. You do your part, and then the other runners do their part, and then hopefully you win the race. And that's, if you're heart centered, which I hope you are, and you're watching this, then our job is to help our client get to their destination. But it doesn't mean we have to be a part of that entire destination because of this complexity, because of the burnout, because of the more that you're involved in different aspects of the journey, your mind has to shift. It has to change. It doesn't matter that you know about it, but I would bet that if I parachuted into your life and looked at all of, let's say you had 3 of them, 3 pieces of products, I would bet that one of them you're absolutely brilliant in and you don't even have to think about it. And the other ones you are good at. And I forget what Dan Sullivan calls this, but there's a chart where you can just say, yeah, that's probably what I'm good enough here, but I'm brilliant over here. What I'm trying to say is the good enough still is something that you need to let go, in my opinion, because you're just creating that more is all it's doing is creating more complexity for you. So back to the client, what did I tell her? Well, yes, maybe they have more to experience, and maybe, and this is where the gold is, in my opinion, is suggesting that I suggest that you, instead of adding more services and products, then why don't you adjust or adapt the existing outcome that you already have, right? It's kind of like taking the journey that you have. You've chunked out this journey right here, or your product, and you're realizing that, wait a minute, there's a little bit more that they need. Instead of adding another product in here, just expand your product a little bit. Just expand it and still focus on the main product. This way, your marketing doesn't change. Maybe the outcome changes. I call it the oasis. Maybe that marketing message changes a little bit, but this way, you don't start adding more to your business. You don't start adding different things, different products and services. And adding more is the easiest way out, but it's usually not the smartest answer. That's just the bottom line. It's easier to say, well, my business isn't growing. I need to add more. And I would argue that point. It's not about adding more, it's becoming more efficient. And that's where it comes down to, when it goes down to even the business itself, where you are the content creator, you are the voice, or you are the face of the business. And you have to get out there and do certain things. Yes, there's teams and all these other things, but the teams that my team, when I build it, it's more on the back end stuff and not the forward facing. This is for me. And maybe you want to think about that. So the forward facing things, the content, the marketing, the lives like this, you do them instead, and let the team and build all the other back end, take care of customer service, answer emails, all of that stuff. And the way you do that is through processes. And this is what I was lacking before. So it's not more, it's not adding more employees, right? So I could go out and add, an agency. I can go add more team members, video editor, like all these other things. But really, do I need that? Maybe not. Maybe I need more processes. Maybe I need more documentation. And so I want you to think about that. Let me know what you think about it. I'd love to know. And I'm hoping, let me just double check that there's no more comments coming in here. There's not. Good. Okay. Well, not good. I wish there was a couple more comments, but I want to leave you with that. I want to leave you with that thought of, is more really good for your business, or is it hurting your business? And one of the things, I'll leave you with this one last thought. I thought the other one was was not. This is the last thought. Okay. Um, the way through something is, you don't know what's broken if you don't focus on it. Let's put it that way. And so many times we have this problem that comes up in our business. I don't know, whatever it is. My sales aren't happening. My socials aren't growing, like whatever it is. And then we look for other things to do, right? We pivot away or kind of sidetrack from the actual problem because we don't want to deal with the problem. And here's what I said to my mastermind group today, is that if you have one focus, which is what I do, there's one business. And even it was somebody who asked me a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, hey, are you still doing this after all this time? Yeah, that's all I do. And it doesn't mean that it's always the same, but if there's a problem, if something's happening, then it's easier to find the problem when you're focused rather than distracted on all kinds of different other programs, products, services, all that stuff. You got one thing to do and there's a problem, you're going to fix it. All right. So there you go. That is my thought for today on Heart Center Marketing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this world. And I hope to see you sometime soon, or next time on Heart Center Marketing, which is next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I will see you soon.